It's fire, ain't it? I told you guys. It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, salam tanay staling. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Radio at its finest. I'm your host, Dawid, here in the studio. 104.7 is the station. All right, ladies and gents, on our Tukuskur segment today, we're going to be discussing about physical health and exercising and how it's also considered nowadays as a luxury as well. As I get older and observe the people around me, I have understood that physical health is not given much attention. And the more people that I interact with, the more people that I hang out with and I encounter, exercising has become less of a habit in people's daily routine. And people don't have the much care to things that get into their body and that how it impacts them as well. You see people consuming so many different unnecessary meals as well. And then you go like, okay, cool. How does anybody really understand how this is affecting their body? So the need for exercising or any kind of physical movement is not like our culture. Like, to be honest with you, like I haven't seen people in my family as well waking up early or any kind of way going to the gym and exercising. So it got me questioning. And also we actually did a poll as well. We asked so many different of our listeners on Instagram and on Telegram as well as to how they see exercising and how many of their close friends practice exercising, and also if they see exercising as a luxury. And the numbers that we have found was quite crazy. Almost 80% of the people that took part on that poll have less than 5% of their close friends that exercise, and out of that 80%, 40 of them don't know anyone in their life that have exercised before. That's the number we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then what was that as well, like when we asked people that if exercising was a luxury.
If exercising was a luxury. So we had two polls running on Instagram and Telegram. The one was how many of your close friends do actually exercise. So from that number in details, 43% said 5% of my friends exercise, 7% say 35% of my friends exercise, and 11% say 50%, and surprisingly 0% said all of my friends exercise, and then most of all 40% say none of my friends exercise. None.
It's crazy. that culture right there, that number right there is just something that made me really wonder, is like, is really exercising a luxury? Why? Because it's obvious people really do understand the necessity for exercising. People know the benefit of it. You know, being physically active can improve your brain health, can help you manage your weight, reduces your risk of disease, it makes you live long. The list goes on. This is obvious. People already know that. So why are we? What happened?
Yeah, from that number, the way we asked. Do you actually think exercising is a luxury? 81% say no, which means actually that people know that it's not really a luxury, but it's actually a necessity. But the other number shows that it's a bit much. So there's a big gap between that. So that's why we are here today.
Definitely. And this is something that we wanted to bring up and talk about, fitness, exercising, how to make it a habit, and then also learn from, experiences from the people that have made it their career to actually pursue this and make sure that, people practice fitness and care. Joining me today, ladies and gents, we do have ISSA certified dance fitness instructor, personal trainer, Hamrawit Gizaw, joining me early in this beautiful morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm very, very good. Good to have you here early in the morning.
It's great to be here.
Yes. So as you heard, as today's topic, you know what I mean, we're talking about fitness and how, and also exercising as well. How it's not really deep engraved into the people's culture as it should be, and how it's going to become a big problem as well, because if we don't have people that are physically active, that we're going to have so many problems as a generation as well. So do you actually think that that idea of the fitness being a luxury, what's your opinion about like our culture when it comes to exercising?
Actually, first I'd like to talk about how crazy those numbers are. The fact that people said, like, what's the number of the percentage of people that said, like, all of my friends
exercise?
Yeah, 0%. Yeah. So I think that's a part of it has to do with how people think about exercise. So if you were to ask them, how many of your friends play sports, football, basketball, tennis, I think that number would not be 0. I think the problem is that we think exercise in terms of the gym. But that's not it. Exercise is not the gym. There are lots of people here that play football. Football is huge. Basketball. I see, what do you call it? Kabaliuch, they have tennis courts. Yeah, people are quite active, but they don't think of it in terms of exercise per se. In my opinion, maybe the gym itself in Ethiopia might be considered a luxury because of how gyms are priced these days. But that's not necessarily what exercise is about. And so I think whatever it is that we like to do, that's where we should start. If you like playing football, that will probably up your coordination, your speed, your cardiovascular health. That's fitness. That's exercise, right? It's one aspect of fitness. And so, I mean, I guess that's how I started. Dance was dance was mine. And so Afrobeat specifically. So that's where dance fitness started. I really loved Afrobeats, and so I just decided to make, if it was a workout and if it was Afrobeats, I wouldn't feel that I was sweating at all. And so that's how I really got into dance fitness to begin with. So I think people's idea of exercise and what it means to be fit should change in general.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But I guess, though, to some extent, the people, I think they should get the idea that when we meant exercise, because I was also reflecting upon myself as well. And I was literally asking friends of mine, how many of their close friends do they know that exercise or any kind of physical activity? And people actually they couldn't mention numbers, you know what I mean? They couldn't know somebody could exercise once in a while and go to like a group soccer match and play a game. But you know, when you say that exercising, at least if somebody's going to play a soccer player, don't they? How often should they practice that as well? Should be for question, because really physical healthiness is such an important thing. I always say is like, instead of to be old and rich and not have money, it's better to be young, broke, and healthy and being able physically exercise and active, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would love to dive into that as well, but generally, how did you get into that? Like, tell me about how you got introduced into the fitness world, and what does fitness mean to you?
Yeah. I think if you ask most of us people who are fitness enthusiasts, generally in the fitness career, many people probably started off for the aesthetic purposes, which is maybe we were overweight or we were underweight. Yeah. In my case, I was overweight. So I went to the States to study. I gained weight like all of us do when we go there. And it got to the point where I didn't want to come back because I was scared of what people would say or think, etc. And so I got into fitness by trying to like lose weight in 2 months. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was a program called Insanity that was going crazy back then. Oh yeah. It's like that 2-month transformation program. Yeah. No weights needed, you just need your body weights. And the first month is like a 45-minute like high intensity cardio. Okay. And the second month goes up to becoming 1 hour. I never finished that program because it gave me bad knees, and it was, in my opinion, I wouldn't tell people that to like start fitness in that way, but that's how I got into it. So of course I'm thankful. Oh, wow. But I first got into it, and eventually after like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of doing that, what happened was I was realizing I was just feeling happier during the day. And I was less cranky. I didn't complain a lot. Even now, when I don't sweat in the morning, my day is not the same. Yeah, I will do everything the same way. I'll eat the same food, see the same people, work the same way, but my attitude is not the same. My energy is not up to par. And so eventually what happens is you start realizing the other effects that it has in your day, your emotion, your mind. And then naturally you just start getting into it without even having to force yourself to. So, when you start, of course, it's difficult to just think of it and wake up and put time into it. But then eventually it just becomes a habit, like how we eat. Yeah, that's true. And so, that's how I got into fitness, and that's what fitness means to me. It's happy endorphins. It's happy hormones. That's what it is for me.
That's true. I think most people really do like underestimate the power that physical fitness has on the mind. You know what I mean? Like as you said earlier, that when you're sweating early in the morning, like you feel you have energy during the day, and you even the way you think is also different, and the way you handle when things happen to you is also different as well. So I think that is one of the things that people really sometimes underestimate. You know what I mean? The impact of it. But tell us more as well. Like, so how did you get into that? You know, taking this as a career and pursuing it and becoming, you know, a trainer and also now a fitness instructor. Tell us about that journey.
Right. So I've been training for a while now for myself, but career-wise, I was in the corporate world. I was doing a lot of stuff. I was in media. I was a computer science. I was a developer.
Okay.
So I did a lot of things in the corporate world first, but they weren't working out. Long story short, it wasn't working out, right?
Okay.
And so it got to the point where I just go to the gym. That was my day. I might even lie to my family and say, yeah, okay, got work, busy, bye. But I'd go to the gym. And it started becoming my safe space. It started becoming where I just feel happy. And so I thought to myself, listen, why don't I just make a career out of this for myself? It seems like this is what I really, really love. And whatever challenges come my way, when you love something so much, you will just overcome them.
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's how I got into training and becoming a dance fitness instructor.
Wow. That's amazing. I think that, you know, that decision right there, that is an amazing one, because a whole lot of people are so scared to take that leap of faith and jump into the things they're passionate about, you know what I mean? And that takes courage, you know what I mean? I do want to give you credit for that, you know what I mean? Because that is something that not a lot of people are bold enough to do, and you're doing an incredible job at it as well. Like we're seeing all the impacts as well. Me and you as well met at a gym as well a while back. You know what I mean? So I get to see the energy and the liveliness that you bring to the places you're at as well. Tell me about, like, so how did you get into that whole, all right, cool, I want to pursue, because I saw the Afroheat as well. That's one of the things I wanted to touch up on today. Yeah. So tell us about this whole Afroheat and how do we get the heat as well? Like, you know what I mean? How do we be part of the movement?
So Afroheat is when it started. It started as a female dance fitness class. I get a lot of questions. Why is it female only?
That was coming, by the way. I'm just saying, it was right there. but why?
Right.
Why?
Initially, it was because you look at Addis in general, since we're talking about Sheger.
Yeah, okay.
You look at Addis and there is a lack of female trainers, females in fitness, etc., etc. And then that comes with a lack of safe spaces for females to work out at, lack of safe spaces for females to move the way they want, free of judgment and whatnot. And we also kind of have a conservative community in a sense. The type of dance that we do at Afroheat is not, I wouldn't say Ethiopian. Sometimes I'll merge some Ethiopian sounds, but it's very, very Pan-African and a lot of West African moves as well. So that's a lot of lower body movement. And our community is quite conservative, and I find that women are also shy. And so I really wanted to bring out that fire, that spirit in women, in a way that they feel safe. But also, it was also to kind of reach out to the Muslim community here that wants a female-only space. So that's why I started out as a female-only, and I still have the female-only classes. However, that's not how it will end.
Okay. I'm just saying they should start another program then, so, you know.
No, in general, Afroheat started out as dance fitness. But the idea is that it's a lifestyle. Afroheat is a fitness. It's a type of fitness. And I just want people to feel good, and eventually I'll incorporate different types of fitness into it and be co-ed as well. But for now, that's where I am. Yeah.
That's amazing. Tell me about the feedback as well. How's it going? And also, it's like, well, how do people sign up and so forth? Like, how does it go?
Right. So right now, actually, I am giving my dance fitness classes in Tala, Kasanchis Yellow Gym.
Okay.
And also Mescal Flower, their Studio 11. People sign up by DMing me, messaging me, and through friends. They just come with their friends.
That's amazing.
But when I have my public events, I will I'll just allow for everyone to come. So
we look forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I always show this people here my dance move. They don't seem to appreciate none of my dance skills. But
I don't know. Maybe they have a point. I haven't seen your dance move, so I'm just saying.
Oh wow. That sounds like a battle. Everybody ready for a battle? We're going to have a battle today.
That is not something you want to get into. You will lose, sir.
Let's go. But, you know, one quick question that I want to ask you. Earlier as well, we started off, we were talking about what exercising means to people. And really, one of our biggest objective here on Sheger is to be part of the change. We want to be able to change the things, some at least minor things, so into the people's daily routine so that they can be the best version of themselves. So based on your experience, what are the simple ways to get into that kind of lifestyle and to exercise, because most people go, like as you said, most people assume gym or having expensive equipment, because that is not what exercising is about. So like what would be like your piece of advice for somebody who's trying to exercise and want to start off simple?
I think, say you can't afford the gym, say you don't have home equipment, I'd say start with, if you have sports that you like, maybe start with pursuing those. If you like walking, start taking walks. Then turn that into a jog to increase the intensity. But then that may be harsh on your knees. And so you could start researching. What I tell people is there's so much resources online.
I didn't know, it's crazy.
Like, Malet, you can Google anything. Of course, not to say that everything you find on Google is like, don't take everything to the T, right? And I think sports science and the fitness industry is changing so much. Like, I don't know, a couple years ago, if you squat this way, you'll hurt your knees. If you squat that way, that's the correct form. It changes a lot, so you have to stay up to date. But still, do research, Google stuff. You will find a lot of exercises online even that work for your body type, for any restrictions you might have in your health, if you have knee problems, nerve issues. I think the problem also with our community is, say you, I don't want to call it a problem though. Okay, I think the challenge with our community. Because I don't want to point fingers, right? Because I'm also born and bred in this community. But say you hurt your lower back. Lifting something. Ooh, good day for labak. I can't work out, obviously, because I've hurt my back. But actually, no. You should strengthen your lower back. That is how you will heal, right? Our body is amazing at healing itself. In my journey, in my fitness journey, I've injured my shoulders, my back, my knees, I don't know, my neck even. You start getting spasms places that you didn't knew moved.
I feel you.
And so
that's so true.
But what keeps you going is,
that's so true.
It's amazing to see how your body can heal itself. You just need to aid it. You just need to give it some some food and some exercises. A lot of people will just think, okay, I should go to physiotherapy for these injuries. And of course, I'm not against physiotherapy. Again, if you're only being hooked up to certain machines that, that just vibrate and give you some muscular, stimulation, you could do a better job at that by stretching and doing strength exercises and building up the muscle strength of the area that's been affected or injured. And so I think we underestimate the power of our bodies, especially to heal themselves. So if there's anyone out there, with nerve issues, muscle issues, knee pain, exercise tends to fix a lot of those problems if we look into the right one. Obviously, don't just Google those. That's the benefit of having personal trainers.
Plug that
is
in.
where I plug myself in.
Plug that in.
Right? But no, if you can get that kind of support and that kind of help, please go ahead. But otherwise, if you do the research and try a couple things, because even myself, before I was a trainer, I was having these problems from not knowing how to lift. We tend, like, lower back is the biggest injury I would say that I face among my clients also. It's just that we we tend to lift stuff up with our, instead of really using our legs, right? And so I'd just say, if you do basic research, you will know how to heal parts of your body that you feel are not completely at their 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Definitely. I think starting off there will definitely help. You know what I mean? And I think that information being available, that also could be a good and bad thing at the same time, as you said. You know what I mean? If you consume the wrong kind of information, but there's a whole lot of content out there for you guys. Make sure as well you get, if you do feel like you need a personal trainer as well. I guess we all know where to find one,
Hit
right?
me up.
But one of the things as well is, like, I'm sure, like, as a personal trainer as well, like, you might have seen this as well, because I always come across people, especially doing the radio show as well, and people that always go like, yes, I'm going to start exercising this year. After my birthday, I'm going to start exercising. I'm sure a lot of people call you after New Year as well, like, I'm right, so tomorrow I'm changing my life around. That's it. I'm a different person. I'm serious. Everybody feels that way. You know what I mean? Everybody knows. But then a week later, things change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tell me about that shift. Really, how do people protect themselves from that shift? From like, oh yeah, and then a week later, like, and then you also, I'm sure you have people you train, and you have to call them and wake them up yourself sometimes. Like, what are you doing?
I think to start, to put this date on starting, that's where you mess up.
Yeah.
To begin with. Oh, New Year resolution. I'm going to be more fit. You've messed up already, in my mind. Because I've tried that, and I've failed doing that myself. Monday. I'm very, I see a lot of never skip Mondays posts on, even amongst, like, my fitness friends and influencers. And I think that's wrong also, because it's also very important to listen to your body. Right? It says, okay, we say never skip Monday if you start Monday. But then Monday is just, society did. Monday is the start of the week. Society told us that. So we start the week on Monday. Yeah. What if the Monday started on a Tuesday? That's weird, but like, that would have been weird. But no,
beginning of the day.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Just a concept. It's all in our heads. Yeah. Monday being the beginning of the week is a concept. And Jibeka, the sun goes up and down. Halas.
Yeah. Let's go.
That's it. Do you know what I mean? And so, sometimes I skip Mondays. It's not the end of the world though, because then I'll go in on Tuesday, and then I'll just continue my my routine. It's very, very good to develop a routine. That just makes it a habit. Yeah. But starting on Monday, starting on my birthday, starting on New Year, just quit making these unrealistic expectations for yourselves. Yeah. Like, it's not, it does not work like that. And so even if it's a Friday, start on a Friday. I barely hear people saying, okay, I'm going to start working out on Friday. It's just not, because we associate that to being the end of the week. But why?
That's true.
It shouldn't be, right? And so a lot of people have a challenge starting to begin with. And to start, they will tell you it's because, after a week, I have to stop, or I'll have a hard time being consistent. What I would say to people that have a difficult time keeping consistent is, go ahead, start it. You have to quit, go ahead, quit. Do you have to start again? Go ahead, start again. Quit again, start again. The thing is, for me, in these last years of my fitness journey, it wasn't a daily, I went to the gym, daily, I put an exercise. It wasn't like that. I had a 3-month time where I was so busy with my corporate life that I wasn't training. And then after 3 months, 4 months, I realized, okay, I think I'm a bit depressed right now. Like, I think I'm depressed, so let me go back to the gym. So it took me 3 months to notice, no, this is not right, right? And for other people, it might be a different like timeline.
Yeah.
But if you think you're going to quit, don't let that be what's stopping you from starting. Go ahead and start. Go ahead and quit. It's a journey. It's a part of life.
A part of life, that's
Yeah.
for sure. And that's something that is something that people miss all the time. You know what I mean? When we think of exercising, we think of the person that we saw last exercising, and we feel like that is the exact same way we should exercise as well. And we feel like that person's routine needs to be our routine as well.
Exactly.
And totally forget that it's personal. Like
Exactly.
training and exercising is personal. As you said earlier as well. Like, even the science is also changing as it goes. So that you need to find something that works for you.
I think social media is also a huge problem here. Like, we tend to compare ourselves to everybody else. And, you know, even for people who start training and then you see them having amazing results in like 2 months. And then you'll go into it thinking, okay, until I had these results in 2 months, I'm gonna,
Me
you know,
too.
yeah. But that's not how it works. People have different body types. People have different diets. People have different schedules.
Yeah.
And not just because I'm training at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, it doesn't mean you have to do that also. Some people are night people. I would like to think that, you know, accommodate what you can in your lifestyle. Like, if you have to train at night, do it at night. It's fine. If you're a night person, that's not the end of the world. That's you. That's how you operate. And so we don't have to succumb to other people's programs and schedules. We could just make our own. That's what I think.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Hamrawit, for joining us. But, you know, one last, thing before we live out. If there's any way, if you want people to reach out to you as well, and if any last minute thing you want to say as well, especially to the, you know, female youth, youngsters listening as well. Any piece of advice? We already addressed most of it as well. Any last minute thing you want to touch up on?
You know, just listen to yourselves. Just listen to your inner selves. And you can reach me on my Instagram, Hamrawit Gizaw. Same thing on TikTok, Hamrawit G is my username. So reach out, DM me. Ladies, come to my dance classes, dance fitness classes. You will love it.
Man, we need. There needs to be a class for men. Again.
Okay. So far,
look already. We got some movement going already. So
that is not the type of dance you're gonna be doing in class. But okay, so far you are maybe the like 10th guy to ask. If I go up to 25. I shall have a class for men also.
Let's do it.
25.
You know, I will help you train as well. Like, I've been known for my dance moves, but what you gonna get to in a bit later?
Yeah.
It's on.
Zeke is gonna break it down.
Let's go. Let's battle. Let's go.
We're gonna battle.
Let's go.
No.
Yeah, I'm scared. Let's go.
What are we doing?
Oh, no.
Afroheat.
Oh, see? Are you scared? Let's have it on record.
That's not Afroheat. I don't know what's going on.
No.
Oh my goodness! You can actually move. You can move better than you make jokes.
Oh shit.
She did not.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Look at her and say, hold me. Get the foot.
That's gonna be a problem, yeah.
Let's go.
What are you doing, man?
That was fun, guys.